I don't have it because we really don't want everyone's face. We just want their voice, you know. It's
Hello.
I have to move it down because I'm so tall.
Yes, I'm so tall.
Okay, let me lift it up.
She looks so Molly-ish.
You look Molly-ish?
She does. Hi.
Okay, my students, you may quietly go ahead to your seats. Oh, Loree, we're working on a medical assignment here, so we gotta get this together.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, here, you can listen to Loree. Come sit and listen to Loree. Okay, all right, everyone face the screen. Nice. I like the way everyone has their material out so that they can write a question for Loree. Nicole, have a seat. Okay, I'll come and run in this and clean up a little bit. Aiden, have a seat. Aiden and Kyle. This is my daughter Loree, but she's not in the wall. She's at Gainesville. She's doing video chat. Okay, everyone sit down. Okay, Loree, we are ready.
All right. Well, I'm glad to see you guys all again this week. This week there was a bunch of little things that happened in the home, a lot of finishing touches. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see the pictures and the video of what happened this week. So last week, if you guys remember, the tile was installed. So we saw the tile installed. He went ahead and he finished up the bathrooms. So you can see here, do you guys remember? This is travertine marble tile. And then the other tile that was in the house was ceramic. But this is the marble. You can see here he finished it around the bathtub, the floors, and he even did it in the shower. Okay? So last week he didn't finish the bathrooms, but he had finished the rest of the house. The next thing that happened after the tile was installed, the plumbers came back. Now, if you guys remember, the plumbers were here in the very beginning before the slab was even poured, and they piped all of their tubes up the slab into where the walls are going to be, so that way that you can get water to all your sinks and showers and faucets. Then, once the walls were in, they came back and made sure they stuck out of the wall here. Now that all the tiles and drywall and paint is in and cabinets, they came back to do their finishing touches. So you can see here they put a drain in the tub, so now you've got a drain instead of a hole there.
Over here.
You also have the trim for the shower, so this is where the water comes out, and this is where you can control the hot and the cold. You guys remember there is two pipes, a hot pipe and a cold pipe. They went ahead and installed the toilet. I know someone wanted to see that. And before, you guys remember there was just a hole in the ground, and they put a wax seal to make sure that the toilet doesn't move. So there's a wax sticky seal that makes sure no water comes out, and they bolt it to the ground so that way the toilet doesn't move. They also came and they put a toilet paper holder there. Last week you guys saw the granite was installed and there's holes here. Well, now there's a faucet. The plumbers came back and they put the faucet over the holes in the granite, but they did not put in the sink. If you guys remember, the granite people put in the sink so that way to make sure that this opening was perfect. Now this is what it looks like underneath the cabinet. Here's the sink underneath the cabinet. The dirty water flows through here, through this thick pipe, and this goes into the sewer outside, and it slopes away from the home. Now, I told you guys this a couple weeks ago, but just a reminder, the reason why it's a U-shape is because they don't want dirty smells coming up through the sink into your bathroom. So this actually keeps a little bit of water always in this little U shape to block any dirty smells from coming up through the sink. So this is where the dirty water flows, and then here you've got the hot and the cold clean water coming through the faucet. Here's another toilet. You can see here where the water comes in to connect to the toilet. Here's another shower. This shower has a tub, and you can see here they put the trim work. This is a little pedestal sink for a half bath that doesn't have a shower. They also put the kitchen sink in. So this is the faucet for the kitchen sink, and this faucet can be pulled out and has a sprayer so you can spray your dishes. And this here is actually a soap dispenser. So you can fill this up with soap and clean your hands. Here's a little closer look. Now remember last week there was just a hole here and a hole here. So the granite company, they got to make sure that the holes are placed where the plumbers want them. Now this is underneath the kitchen sink. This is actually the garbage disposal. So this garbage disposal, when the electricians come, they'll put a little plate here, we'll plug into the wall, and you can flip the garbage disposal on, and you know, it cuts up any like big food items that you might have, and it goes then, after it's all ground up, it goes through the sewer pipe, which is behind here. Here you've got one of the clean water going up to the sink. And this black tube is actually, remember, this pulls out because it sprays. So this is actually the rest of the faucet. And it's got a little weight on it here to make sure that you don't pull it out of the cabinet. Here's a little better look. You see the hot and the cold water here. And then here you can see the garbage disposal hooked up to the sewer. Here we are in the bathroom. This is the master bathroom. If you guys remember the hot tub, here's the motor for the hot tub. They went ahead and plugged that in. And here you can see the tub in the master. They took the cover off because they had to put in the faucet. So you can see they have a little protective cover to protect it from all the dirt. And they've got the jets coming out there.
Oh, look at that.
You can see it can get really dirty, so you want to make sure you cover it to keep it nice and clean. This is the laundry room, so they put a cover. This is where the hot and cold water for your washing machine is going to go. And this is going to be a vent for the dryer.
Right.
Now, okay, so you saw the tile guy came and finished the tile. The plumbers came and finished that. And then also we had the trim people come, and they came and they put the hardware on the doors. So last week there was a hole here where this doorknob is. They came and they put all the doorknobs in, and they put the little stop plates over here. You can see they went ahead and drilled those in. Here's another doorknob. Some of the doors have locks on them, so this goes into the bathroom, so it has a lock, where some of them do not.
Somebody's in there. We're using the bedroom.
Another thing, there's a lot of different people that came in. Another person that came in is the painters came back. So if you guys remember, the painters came, but they kind of did a sloppy job. They had, it wasn't nice and clean. They had like kind of a big, thick white line here. So they came and filled that in. So you can see now the 3 different colors. You've got the ceiling, kind of like a light yellow. The crown molding is here, and they made that nice and white. And you've got the wall paint, which is kind of like an orange. They also installed the base molding over the tile here. So before that was just, there's a rough edge. There's like a little gap between the tile and the wall, and they painted that. So you guys can see that the house is coming along. It's almost finished. Now, that's everything that happened inside the house. Outside the house, there's some more action, and I have some video to show you about what was going on outside. But this machine here is called a skid steer. And what he was doing is he was clearing away all the debris and leftover sand to make sure that when they put the driveway in, that it's nice and smooth. They also cut the curb. I'm going to show you videos of all this, so I'm going to skip ahead. Let me show you the videos now, and I'll go back to the pictures. Looks like he got it filled, and there's some larger debris, so he's going to put that into his little truck there. He drives it away. Now, another thing, while they were going ahead and clearing the dirt, you'll see the painters were also painting the outside of the house. Another thing that was going on is they were cutting the curb. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that after the video. Over here you see there's the painters, and he's cleaning his brushes. It's very important they've got their brushes stay clean so they don't have to buy new brushes every week. So you guys can see there's a lot of different people outside, and I'll explain to you a little bit more about what they're doing. So this guy here, like I said, I don't know if you saw, he waved to you guys. He was clearing up all the dirt and debris to get ready for the driveway, and he fills up his little holder there, and he drives it and puts it in a dumpster. He comes back and does it again until it's all clean. And then this is the curb on the road. Now, before the home is built, they want to make sure the roads are finished so cars can drive on them. So they go ahead and put the curb in. But then once we build the house, we need to break this curb off where the driveway is going to be, so that way your car doesn't have to drive over the curb to get to the house. So that was a saw. They were cutting the curb. You can see here the cut marks. And then they chisel it out so that way they can make the driveways go nice and smooth to the road. The next thing that they do is they locate where all the underground wires are, so that way when they dig for the driveway, they don't hit any wires. So you can see the orange, this is for your cable and your internet. The yellow is gas. And the red here is electric. So they mark it different colors so you know what's under the ground to make sure they don't hit anything. And then when they were done, you could see this is what it looks like when they cut out the curb. So here's the road. And then now this is just dirt, and they'll fill that in with the driveway. Now the next thing that happened outside is the plumbers were outside too, and they went ahead, they put a hose bib. And the plumbers, this is a tankless water heater. So this is actually very energy efficient, and this is what heats all the water in the house. So the plumbers came and they connected this to the walls, and how this works is you've got cold water running up this pipe, and then in this box is a bunch of hot coils. The cold water runs over all the hot coils, and then it comes out of this pipe and it goes to all the hot water pipes throughout your home. So whenever you turn your faucet for hot water, first the water has to run through here, over all the coils, and then out through this pipe and through to wherever the sink is or bathroom or shower in the house. Now, the nice thing about the tankless water heater is not only is it energy efficient, but once the water starts flowing and gets hot, the hot water will not run out. So you guys, sometimes if you have siblings and you guys are all showering in the morning and the hot water might run out, the last person might get a cold shower. In this house, that will never happen. Once the hot water's on, it stays on. So that's a really neat thing. Now, another thing that was going on outside, there's a lot of little different pieces that were happening, is they went ahead and they finished off the edge of this roof here. This is called Soffit and Fascia. And the purpose of this is just so the house looks nice and that also no animals crawl up into this hole and get into your attic. So he goes ahead and puts a railing to connect the fascia to kind of close the gap. See here, this is what it looks like before. You can see here, these are the roof trusses, and this is the end of the wall. And this is what it looks like after. So it's nice and sealed tight. Here's what it looks like when it's finished. This is what it looks like when it comes delivered to the site. It comes in long pieces that they have to cut up. And they also painted the house, which you saw in the video. And this is what the house looks like right now. So it's nice and painted. Now, a couple things, the painters have to be really careful when they paint the outside of the house because they want to apply it nice and thick, and they use a special paint that's water resistant to make sure that's another waterproof barrier to the home. So they use a special paint on the outside, and they make sure they apply it very thick. And this is what the house looks like now. It's ready for a driveway to come in. That's going to come in next week. They put in the fascia. It's painted. So you guys can see it's really come along very far, almost ready for the people to move in.
We had some comments actually. So Emily, while we were talking about the water heater, what did you say, Emily?
Our water heater broke in our house, and we only get cold water now.
Oh wow, that must be. You guys must have to take short showers, right?
And it was 9 years old.
Oh.
Loree can remember, I'm sure, growing up in our house, and we always wanted to be the first one in the shower because the last one would get the cold shower.
Yes.
You have a question? Okay, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Louisa. I once my dirty water tube under my sink broke because we were playing hide and seek, and then it flooded the bathroom.
Oh no. Yeah, you could see how that could happen with the pipes because where if the water's on and you break the pipe, something that your parents probably did when that happened is you can turn the water off outside. There's a place where you can turn off all the water to your home. So if ever there's a leak, you go outside to that box, you disconnect the water so that way it stops the flooding, and then you'll get the plumbers to come in and fix it. But I remember one time I was playing hide and seek at a friend's house with my sister, and she hid in the washing machine, and the washing machine broke. So they weren't too happy about that.
I remember, Loree, I don't know if you remember when I drove into the garage and the water heater was there, and I drove a little bit too fast into the garage and I hit the water heater and the water started to spill it like a geyser. Remember we talked about a geyser?
Yeah.
I was crying. Maybe I think I was still pregnant with Molly. I think I was crying.
Add to the water.
Yeah.
Well, you know, a lot of homes, and most of your homes probably have in your garage, a large tank filled with water. And the way that works is in your garage there's a large tank, and it's always, that water in that tank is always hot. So when in your house, when you turn on the hot faucet, the water comes out of that tank, and once that tank is empty, there's no more hot water. You have to wait for the tank to fill back up and heat the water again. So my mom was saying she crashed into that hot water tank. In this house, there's no tank filled with hot water because the water just runs over those little coils.
Skylar?
Hi, my name's Skylar.
You can put your hands and I'll come to you.
When you come to visit Miss Schulson, can you come to my house and make the hot water hot for? Because once my hot water, it wasn't going right, and it was only like hot water for 2 minutes. So we had to call a plumber, and they fixed it in one of the drains, the hot water drain. There was something stuck in it, and the water couldn't go through. Like the hot water, like there's only cold water that couldn't go through.
That's really interesting that there's something blocking the drain. Well, that's good they fixed it.
Hi, my name is Blake, and I have 2 comments.
Okay.
When I always take a shower first, and I leave cold water for my brother or my mom or dad.
You take a long shower, right? Okay, what else?
And also, my dad's a plumber, so our water heater, like, it broke once, but then he fixed it.
Oh, yes, your dad must know a lot about all the different type of water heaters and how to fix all those problems.
Do you know the name of the company? Dad, what's the name of the company? Real Plumbing? Will Plumbing. Her dad, did your dad, did he go to Gainesville? Or no, where did he go to school? Isn't he a Gator? Your mom's a Gator. Oh, yeah, it was a mixed marriage. Your mom's a Gator, and your father went in Tallahassee, right? The Seminole. Yes.
I'm Lauren. Do you decorate the front and backyards the way that the owners want?
Oh,
What was that about the front yard and backyard?
Do you decorate it the way the owners want?
Oh, that's a great question. What we do is we have a landscape plan that's pretty basic. We put some grass in the front yard with some different flowers and mulch. And in the backyard, we'll put grass, and there's like a little patio. And you'll see in the next couple of weeks, they'll go ahead and they'll be putting in the driveway, the patio, and all the landscaping. And then sometimes our homeowners, after they move in, they'll go ahead and they'll maybe change it. They'll buy some new flowers or some different pots, or maybe they'll put in a little garden. So we let them kind of customize it after they move in, but we give them like a basic grass and mulch and some basic flowers to start with.
And how do you put on the garbage disposal?
Okay, that's a great question. Next to the sink, there's going to be a switch, and right now the wires are there, and there's a hole in the granite, but the electricians didn't come in and actually put the plastic switch over it. And so when you're using the sink, you just press the switch, and it'll through electricity, it'll turn the garbage disposal on, and it'll you want to make sure you got the water running and you don't put anything too big down there. And then when you're done, you turn the switch off, and then it turns off.
India, do you have a question?
Hi, my name is India. Are you going to be the manager?
Am I the manager? No, I'm not the manager. We do have a person, and we actually have a couple different guys depending on the community. and they manage all the different workers. So you saw today there was, this week, they had the tile guy there, the painters, they had the guys outside cutting the curb, the Soffit and Fascia. So there's probably like 5 or 6 different companies working out there. So we have one guy who manages them, makes sure that they do the right job, they do it correctly, and also make sure that they come out at the right time. So it's very important. You want to make sure, for example, that the walls are finished before you paint them, or the cabinets are in before you start tiling. So he makes sure that everything goes in the right order and that everyone's doing their job properly. But that's not me. We have someone else that does that.
Hi, it's Skylar again. What do you use to cut the curb?
It's a saw. It was actually hard for me to get a close-up picture of it because it's so dusty. I didn't want to get too close. But it's like a round circular saw that spins really fast and has blades around the edge. And it's hooked up. It has a wire, and it's hooked up to you know, the power, so that way it can turn on and off and go really fast.
Hi, it's Lisa again. How many rooms does the house have?
This home has 4 bedrooms and a bonus room. So kind of like 5 rooms, and then it also has the kitchen, there's a dining room, and a great room area where you would put, like, you know, your couch and your TV for your family to hang out in. And
Okay, Loree, what are we going to be doing next week?
Next week, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that the driveway, all the pavers are going to be installed, and also they're going to pour the sidewalk in front of the house. So
Whoa.
that's what I think is going to be next.
Okay, we are looking forward to that. Well, Loree, we are ready to wrap up our week here. We're going to do a homeworkopoly, so we're very excited. All right, everyone, say goodbye to Loree.
Have a good weekend.